Let's talk about a pretty wild idea that could completely change how we think about banking. What if all those millions of dollars that banks pour into cybersecurity weren't just an expense? What if they were actually the key to unlocking some serious growth?
For decades, banks have looked at cybersecurity in just one way. It's a cost center. It's this defensive shield you have to pay for, kind of like a necessary evil to keep the regulators happy. But there's a new vision that flips this whole thing on its head. It reframes security not as a burden, but as a strategic asset, a powerful engine that can actually drive new revenue and give you a massive competitive edge.
So, the big question is, how do you actually pull this off? How does a part of the bank that's always been about preventing losses suddenly start generating profits? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about the cost trap that so many banks are stuck in. Then, we'll get into this new vision that's all built around trust. After that, we'll unpack the actual blueprint for making it happen, see how it turns defense into real profit, and finally, we'll see how security becomes the bank's ultimate growth engine.
So, first up, let's really dig into a problem that pretty much everyone in banking is all too familiar with: the cybersecurity cost trap.
In the old way of thinking, the goal is pretty simple. Just spend enough cash to not get hacked or hit with a fine. The whole conversation is always about the budget, right? How can we minimize this expense? Security is reactive, it's a cost of doing business, but nobody's seeing it as a tool that can actually help the bank grow.
But what if we just completely flipped that script? This brings us to a totally new vision, where the most important currency isn't just money anymore, it's trust.
This quote right here really nails the new mindset. Instead of just protecting the bank's own stuff, the whole idea is to take that incredible world-class security expertise and turn it outwards, to make it the very reason a customer chooses your bank over anyone else. The model for this is something called security as a service. Now, this isn't just about being good at security inside the bank. It's about productizing it. It's about creating real, valuable services for your customers that are built on the bank's elite security skills. And when you do that, you open up entirely new ways to make money.
Okay, so how do you actually build this? The whole strategy is based on a security blueprint that's made up of 4 key pillars. The blueprint is built on 4 pillars. First, we've got resilient governance, then secure development, after that, intelligent threat hunting, and the final piece is data monetization. Let's take a look at how each one of these actively helps the business.
Pillar 1, resilient governance, is all about a huge shift in who owns security. It's no longer just some technical problem for the IT folks to worry about. No, it becomes a top-level goal for the C-suite, something that's directly tied to the bank's biggest strategic goals.
Now check this out. This is a perfect example of turning a boring internal metric into a hot-ticket marketing feature. See, most banks track something called Recovery Time Objective, or RTO. Basically, how fast can they get back online if something goes wrong? By guaranteeing a recovery time of less than an hour, they've created a service uptime guarantee. This isn't just some tech spec. It's a premium product they can sell to business clients who absolutely cannot afford to be offline.
All right, Pillar 2, secure development. This is all about taking those super expensive mandatory compliance rules, the ones everyone complains about, and turning them from a burden into a powerful marketing tool, a real mark of quality.
And here's where you see the payoff. When you start building security into your products from the very beginning, they call it security by design, you can launch cool new stuff like AI financial advisors way faster and with a lot more confidence. And all of a sudden, those boring ISO certifications aren't just for some report, they're a headline in your advertising, helping you build a brand as the most trustworthy bank. Let's move on to pillar number 3, intelligent threat hunting. This is a massive shift in mindset. Instead of just sitting around waiting for alarms to go off, the bank is now actively and very intelligently hunting for threats before they can even do any damage. So the business highlight here is what they call a real-time trust engine. Using AI to analyze attack patterns, the bank can tell the difference between a real threat and a legit customer way more accurately. What does that mean for you? Less friction. Fewer of those annoying blocked transactions, and it opens the door to offer brand new premium services like reputation protection for their business clients.
And that brings us to the final pillar, data monetization. This is where the bank's security skills are directly turned into brand new streams of revenue.
This is where security literally starts making money through something called non-interest income. That's money that has nothing to do with loans. I mean, think about it.
the bank can package up its security know-how and its tools and sell them as a service to its business customers. It's not just protecting its own vault anymore. It's getting paid to help protect its clients' businesses too.
So, when you put all four of these pillars together, you can really start to see the huge business impact of this shift from defense to profit.
Take a look at this. A bank's revenue pie is usually made up of things like loans and wealth management. But this strategy adds a whole new slice to that pie: security-driven services. It's a brand new line of business, pumping money directly into that super valuable non-interest income.
Which brings us to our big conclusion: how this whole model totally redefines the role of cybersecurity, turning it into the bank's brand new growth engine.
This quote really is the ultimate takeaway. In our digital world, trust is the most valuable currency there is. And if that's true, then the part of the business that builds and defends that trust, well, it's not just a cost anymore. It becomes the engine that drives everything else forward.
So let's just put it all together. The journey is from an old world view where security is just a defensive cost, a ball and chain really, to a new world where it's a proactive business driver. It's the rocket fuel for growth. It is a complete and total reimagining of what security is even for.
And this leaves us with one last powerful question. For the banking world, the hidden asset was cybersecurity. So what's the equivalent in your world? What's the most valuable, most overlooked part of your organization that's just waiting to be transformed from a cost into your next big growth engine?